Hi, Melissa. I am so excited for you to join me today. We are doing something totally new, which is talking a little bit about training with me as a plus size fitness and self-love coach. So the purpose of today is just to have a conversation, ask you some questions, and a bit about your experience, because I know that a lot of women just kind of wonder, what does it actually look like? Is this really going to help me? Am I going to really see change in my life when we've tried all the things? So let's start off strong with tell us a little bit about yourself, your life, and why you took the first step towards, oh, look at the fireworks, towards change and signed up for my walking challenge this past summer.
Okay. Well, my name is Melissa, and I actually have been following you. I know it's been 3 years, maybe almost 4 years. So,
I didn't even know that.
I know. Yeah. I've been following you for a while, and I'm just a mom of four. I now am a grandma too. So, and they are all just everything to me, of course. And I just, through following you, there was things that I wanted to change already, and I wanted to do, but I just didn't get to that point of let's do this. Mm-hmm. Let's do this for me. So in being a mom of four, I have probably put myself aside 99% of the time. Mm-hmm. I just decided that I was going to finally take the plunge. And it was that first with the walking challenge. So that was a really big step for me. It was putting myself first. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I've had a hard time with is putting myself first. I think that's very relatable to a lot of moms. I think that we just go and, we're in this one mode, and it's mom mode. We forget about us. And I know that was my big thing. I forgot about me. Mm-hmm. So I decided to do the walking challenge with you. And it took a lot. And honestly, I will say it took a lot to do that. It doesn't sound like, oh, wow, you're just going to go walk or whatever it might be, but it still took a lot for me to take that step. Even though I wanted to, I don't know, part of me was, I took it also as a sign. There was a sign, and because I had followed you for so long and I wanted to do something for myself, I was already toying with the idea of doing this walking challenge. And then what happened was the registration was closed. Right. So registration was closed. And I was like, okay, well, I missed it. And that's fine. And then you had came and said that there had been people that had messaged you saying, I want to do this. I missed the time frame to be able to start. So you opened it back up. And I had just been online at that time, and I took that as a sign of do it. Just do it. That was also for me. Yeah, it was for me too. It was like, I had to do it. So I said, okay. And I went and I did it. I was just like, and at the same, it was like nerves. It was excitement. It was a whole bunch of things. Yeah. And I was like, hey, I did it. And that was like, it was like a wow moment too. Like I actually took that step. Yeah. Because like I said, it's not just easy just to do those things. Yeah. So what was it that you were what was the thing you were most nervous about starting? Can you identify what was it? Probably in my life, it's probably for me, failure, that I'm going to fail. I am not going to be able to do this. I'm not going to be able to finish it. Right. I'm not going to do it well enough. So for me, it's failure. I always have that in the back of my mind that I'm not going to perform properly, do it right. I'm not even good enough to be able to do this. So why am I doing this? So there's a lot of doubt, a lot of self, worthiness. I'm not worthy enough. That's a lot of the internal dialogue that unfortunately so many women, myself included, have had to work through in order to do that. And so what made you, I'm trying to really identify, what made you actually take the step while still thinking that, aside from me reopening it? Was there anything that was a pivotal moment that was like, I'm tired of feeling this way. I know I want to feel a different way. Was there anything like that? I mean, there might not be, but I'm just curious if there was something for you that was like, no, I need to challenge these thoughts. I think it was part of, you hit it right there, nail on the head. Tired of feeling this way was part of it. Also had we'll go back into the fall of last year, I had a health scare. Right. So that was a really big thing that was in the back of my mind. And it's funny too, is how your brain works though. Even though I had this health scare, even though I knew I had to take steps, all those negative thoughts, all those everythings were still there. And they just overpowered all that. And so again, another component of why was it so hard to take that step was my own thoughts, my own processing of what I could or couldn't do and what I was worth or what I wasn't worth. So I think that health scare was in the back of my head, knowing I had to take steps, and I know I have to take steps in order to be better, feel better, you know?
Yeah.
So that was another part of it, and just being that I need to take care of myself. This is what happens in a sense of not taking care of myself.
I think I'm glad you touched on that, because I think it's really important. And I think that that's where a lot of women, especially moms, identify as like, tired of feeling this way, but I need to feel another way. Right. And so I'm curious, when you started, so before you actually started the walking portion of it, what habits did you have? How were you feeling emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically beyond your health scare? Like, where were you? What were you actually doing when it comes to movement and prioritizing yourself at all? And you might not have been doing any of the things or some of them. I'm curious what life looked like before you took the plunge.
Well, probably, honestly, at that point, probably I wasn't doing very much at all of anything. I was going through my days of just going through the motions of going through my days. That was it. We'll go back even further is over the last 10 years, my life was turned upside down when my son, oldest son at 16 was diagnosed with cancer. You know, so thankfully, you know, he's doing great. He has a family now. That's, you know, I have a granddaughter from her. But going through all of that, and it wasn't even in the moment of the few years that was really heavy into it. It was after. After that, I fell into, I will say, it was depressive states, you know, and a lot of highs and lows, ups and downs of everything I went through really hit. And it was after. It wasn't even during it, because I think I was in that, which most are probably, in that fight and flight. You're in that constantly. So you don't have time to process what really happened, what really is going on. So I was in those depressive states, and there's times that I was great, you know, days were good. I was doing things, everything was great. And then there was times that it was very dark at times, very dark. And it was very hard to go forward and push myself out and do beyond everyday things. So before doing the walking challenge, no, I wasn't doing much at all, you know, beyond having a coffee in the day. And, you know, there wasn't much that was, you know, I still taking care of the family and all those things, but I was just going through motions. I was just going through motions. There wasn't much else behind it. And so, yeah, I had really nothing, no habits, no anything that was going on at that time.
I think that that's really important. First of all, thank you for sharing like vulnerably about what's happened in the last 10 years. That is a lot. And I'm sorry you've gone through that. And I think both of us know, like, based on our stories, that the things that we go through can in some way help us help others. And it also gives us a deeper purpose and meaning to things. But I know, like, in the midst of it, it's also really, really tough. And I think a lot of women can relate to kind of just being in survival mode and not prioritizing ourselves and not finding a way to figure things out and just like being in this place of like, I just have to get through the day, but that there is another way to do it, even with all that was on your plate. So as you transition starting into the walking challenge, so the walking challenge, for those who don't know, was a commitment of whatever your goal was. So you could have a steps goal or a number of minutes walked per day, but that was your goal. If you needed to adjust it during the challenge, you could. You also had access to our community, which were daily sharing our walks and the things that we were doing for ourselves. You also had access to my app, which has a lot of other wellness tools, recipe book, and that kind of thing. And the commitment was 21 days to help you work on this one habit. So what was the process like working with me as the challenge started? And you did end up coming on one-on-one for a Confidence in Motion, but I'd like to first talk about like, what was the experience like coming in to the community aspect, just focusing on walking with this one goal in mind? What was that like for you? How did it feel?
In the beginning?
Yeah.
Hard. Literally having to make myself walk, make myself do it. So it wasn't just like, oh, it's easy, just go walk, go do it. So it was very hard. However, being in which I absolutely love to this day, the platform with other women and having that community helps so much because it was now people that were going through what I was going through. Yeah, might not have been exactly the exact same thing, but they were women that had those feelings, women that were struggling, women, you know, they maybe didn't feel good about themselves. They didn't feel that they were worthy. They didn't feel that they could do things,
Yeah.
you know, and for whatever reason brought them there, we were all still together. We were one. We were working on the same common goal of, you know what, I want to feel better. And then having you there was just like the cherry on top. It was like, because I was able to know that you were there, and you would encourage us, and you would tell us stories and tell us things that was like those aha moments of maybe we already thought it, but now you put yourself out there and you helped to confirm it, or helped us go, she thinks like us. Oh my gosh, like that really one of us. And that made it so much better and easier, because I knew that I had that all behind me. Yeah, for myself, yeah, I do. I have a good support. I have actually a great support system. My children, have older children. So I have 29, 26, and a 23-year-old, then now a 15-year-old. And my husband always, I want to do it, do it. They've always been that support for me. They always have. The only thing is, I'm still mom. Yeah. So if mom says she doesn't feel good that day, then it doesn't matter. They'll be like, okay, mom doesn't feel good, then just leave it be. We want mom to be happy. We want mom to feel good, whatever it might be. But being in this community of this group of women and having yourself there leading us through, it was different. I wasn't, how can I say it? Accountable to, I don't even know how to say it properly, but I was able to go ahead. Yeah, I guess it's just the relatability. I guess it's just the relatability. The relatability of being able to, feel safe to talk about and say, I had a good day. I had a really bad day. Yeah. And then they celebrate you. That's another thing. They celebrate you. They celebrate your wins, and they're there for you. So I think that was a really big aspect, that it wasn't just, talking and putting something out there. There was actual support for you. There was actual somebody there. There was others there with you.
That makes me so happy to hear, because that's the intention of the community aspect. Because I think oftentimes, especially when we're on journeys, creating new pathways for ourselves, it can feel really isolating with people who don't fully get all of the things that we're going through. So to be able, that you've been able to relate to other women is so impactful. And part of the reason why I do what I do, because there is so much power in being able to relate to somebody who is going through or has been through what you're going through, to encourage and uplift, because there is so much dragging us down in our everyday lives that it can feel so overwhelming. And so it's kind of just like so you can catch your breath in a place that you feel safe. So the fact that you said safe that's why I would touch my heart, because that's exactly what I want, is to foster that safe community with me. So before we get into your experience, one-on-one, and how you're feeling and that kind of thing, what I would like to know is, in the walking challenge, what did you accomplish? What was your goal? And what did you end up accomplishing in your 21 days of the walking challenge?
So my goal to start was just to do 20 minutes a day, just to get out there and move, just to make sure that I was able to move for me, for my health, for my mind as well. And wow. So in that, there was a big shift in how I felt about myself. Going into it, like I said, I didn't feel good. I just didn't feel good about myself. And as I was going, and I saw what I could do and what I was doing, and it was like, wow, I can do this. Wow, I feel so good. And then little things started to change. And yeah, I still had those intrusive thoughts. Of course I did. They're still there. They're still, I'm a work in progress. There's still things that, of course, come in. But it was like, no, I can do this. I can go forward. And a lot of times was that I would think of things that you had said, especially, it's progress over perfection, and that was a big thing for me, because that's another aspect of my life, that I'm an all or nothing person. Yeah. I am throw it all in and I'll do it. I can do it. But if one little thing just goes off, I'm done. Just that's it, and I do. I'll shut down. I'll forget it. I everything. I could have been doing great for months, and it didn't matter. It didn't matter. I would just stop, and that's not just with exercise or anything. That's just aspects of my life. Yeah, that was something I always have done. Yeah. So with the walking challenge, for me, that was something too, that I was able to be like, you know what, you're fine, Melissa. Keep going. You know what? Who cares if, you know what, the last, 5 minutes you struggled, or maybe you didn't get it exactly the pace or the time you wanted, or whatever it was. Go. You can do it. Keep going. And that's what I would do. And I would just keep going. And then I would feel good. I actually had those moments that I would actually feel good after. And I would be like, oh my God, I just walked and I just did this. I was like, bring on another walk. Let's go. Let's you know, that was so good for me because I haven't felt those things. I didn't feel those things. And also I wanted to do more. That was nothing. I wanting to do more. Wanting to put myself out there and do more. And then also in the community, I also saw, I think this is another thing, because I am one that will help anybody. I want to help the world if I can. What I saw was that others we fed off each other, and they were feeding off of me too. And they were like, way to go. Like, yes, they celebrated it, but I also saw then that they wanted to do maybe something for themselves, or maybe something like they were like, hey, I can go out and I can do this, and I think we all did that. We fed off. We were like, oh, so-and-so just did that. All right, I'm game. Let's go. Like, I can do that too. And that was the whole, like, that was everything. Yeah. So that was another thing that I really ended up that I was walking, and I did it every single day.
All 21 days and then some.
All 21 days. I did it, and it didn't matter. Yeah. And I wanted to do it. And I think that was a really big thing. And I started feeling good about myself. Started feeling good that I could do more. I could do for me. Yeah. I could do for me. And it was okay that I took out 20 minutes, half hour, whatever, even an hour, whatever that time was, just for myself to go for a walk. Yeah. And I started connecting with things that I love too. That was another thing, like nature. And I wanted to do things, and I wanted to make myself more presentable. And there were so many aspects that I would have these moments. And I loved feeling that way. It was like an adrenaline. It was like, you're like, I'm feeling good about me. Yeah. And I want more. I want more of that.
And so with your wanting more is why you decided to also continue in the one-on-one aspect and doing confidence emotions. You continued on with 3 months of coaching with me one-on-one, customized walking plan, customized nutrition, the support, the community element. And every month we've had a different challenge. So how has it been transitioning from doing a challenge into one-on-one coaching, where you also get biweekly check-ins and a video message from me in response to your check-ins, and that you're able to message me if you need support? How has that transition been, and how has that supported you in what you want to accomplish?
I love it. I'm hooked on it. I'm hooked on you, your program, your everything. It's like, I actually brought this up to my kids and my husband at dinner one night. I was like, I'm thinking that I'm going to have to keep doing this for a long time because of how good I feel. Because, and again, going back to bad days. Yeah, there's bad days. There's days that I don't feel like doing, but that's okay. Yeah. Yeah. Because it doesn't take away all those other days that I've done things and all the other progress that I've made. Yeah. So now I get to work one-on-one with you, which is great. So I get to say, there's certain things that I feel, I have to back it up a bit, but I feel so comfortable with you. And it's like, you meet a lot of people in your life, and you do, and you go through whatever. And there's just some people that you just connect more with. And for me, that's been you. And that has been a really big thing for me. And I think that's why, in my heart and my mind, of why I followed you for so long and did that. I kept going back to you. Always wanted to see what you were doing and whatever, because I think that I was meant to do this. I was meant to do more. And it was like, I just had to take that plunge. Everything was right there. God had me that it was like, there it is. There it is. Come on, do. And then I did. Yeah. And that's how I feel. And so now I get to have those moments with you that I can tell you about deeper things, more things than just what the walking challenge was. And then you will go and what I love is that you take it, and it's not a negative. You're like, okay, so what can you do? What are you capable of doing? How are you feeling? Which is so big, because not everybody knows how I feel. Yeah. In the process, and I've done we'll call it diet culture. I've done all these other, I've worked with trainers and no disrespect to anybody, I'm not trying to, but that connection hasn't been there, you know, that you're willing to give us, you know, and that's got to be training on you too. I'm sorry. It's like, because I feel like take us on. You're taking a part of us, you know, and because you really do care.
I really do.
There's that caring that you do, and I know you do, and I can tell you do, you know, because there's that element too. So then, so going into like the coaching and going into things. So now it's like I have even more, and you know, it was like a little taste, a little, you know, just a little bit that I knew I wanted. I was like, oh, I like this. To now, I really have more, and we have that community. We still, and there's some of the women that were from the walking challenge, which I love, you know, made the connections, and there's some new women as well. But I have that. I now also have that I can have meal plans, and I can look at different recipes and you know what I can possibly make, and you give us, you know, ideas of, you know, and planning. But I'm getting there. But, you know, but the way that you go about everything, you don't diminish any of us. You don't make us feel like, oh well, you didn't get your walk in today. Well, why? I have been there. Well, they feel like they have to, I don't know, like push you and that's going to help. Well, not everybody can be.
No, most women don't.
That way.
No.
But it's not going to help.
No.
It's not. Sometimes that makes that person shut down more.
Yeah.
And with your approach, that's not there. It's a caring approach. It's like, and relatable from you helping us, saying, you know what, I get it. I've been there. I did this, or I experienced this, and I understand you. And then we'll listen. And again, I personally have those moments of like, yeah, she does get it. And the time that you put in that, it's like, okay, do you think you're doing okay here? Oh, okay, let's tweak this. Let's try this instead. And you're going off of us. Like, you don't get that everywhere. I'm sorry. I know you don't. Because like I said, I've done it before. You do not get that. You don't get someone that actually cares, that will sit there and let's tweak it. How are you feeling today? No? Okay. Why don't you try this and then give us examples of how can we try to do this to make it better? Or, you know what? Maybe that was too much. So how about we go here? And let's do this. So now I have all of that. And it has just helped me feel even better. Even better. I have done, which I did on purpose today. I put on makeup. Yeah. And those are things that I never would have done. I never would have sat here and been like, oh, let's have that the world's going to see me in a sleeveless shirt. It's not happening. Yeah. Sleeveless shirts. Because I think they're cute. But it's not happening.
Yeah, I remember you saying in the last like 2 months, like through the summer, you had stuff in your closet that you had never worn because you never felt confident enough to wear it, but now you did.
100%. Yeah. And that's what has happened. That is what's happened in me. Do I still feel nervous putting it on and have this stuff done? I do. And I think, you know, that is because of years of programming myself a certain way. And I think too, just naturally, we all have those things, even when we're doing well and we maybe, you know, have more confidence, but I'm not letting it hinder me now. I'm not letting it stop. And it is, and it feels good because I have brand new clothes, and there's still stuff from undergarments to PJs to clothes to a coat even like that. I'm in love with, but oh no, I don't look good enough to wear that. Yes, I do. I know.
Damn right you do.
Yes. And that is what I've done. Yeah. And now, and being a part of one-on-one with you and the coaching and with our community again, those are things I'm doing. And it is for me. Yeah. It's not for anything else. It's not about me losing weight. And it's not about me sitting there and being like, I have this goal to be, you know, I have to be 110 pounds and blah, 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 and all this other stuff. No, I'm sure weight loss will come. It'll happen, like whatever, you know, everybody, but I'm not even looking at that aspects anymore. I'm looking at what am I doing for myself? Am I drinking water? Another thing. I didn't drink water. I drink coffee. I drink water.
We have worked on those.
Every day.
Yeah.
And it's like, gosh, I'm drinking water. I'm eating breakfast. Another thing I did not do. Not a breakfast person. I'm eating breakfast every day. I am taking care of myself. Going back to things that I always loved, like putting on makeup, taking care. You know, and again, people might, oh, well, she puts on makeup, whoopee, like whatever. No.
That's a big deal for a lot of people.
I loved Like, I have an arsenal of makeup. I love it. Since I was a little girl, I just loved makeup. I still do. And I was for hours and just do different things when I was younger and play with makeup. I still love makeup, but I got away from those because that was doing things for me. That was for me. And now by working with you one-on-one and being in the community, and I'm hydrating myself, I'm making better choices of food. I am sitting there and I am caring about myself, taking moments for me. And that doesn't take away me of being a mom, because I think that's another thing that what I have a lot of, and probably a lot of moms have, is mom guilt. If I take away, 5 minutes and do this for myself, I'm selfish, or I shouldn't be doing that. And, or we don't have enough time. We don't have enough time. But I believe we have to make that time. We have to make that time. We can't lose ourselves just because we're a mom.
Yeah.
And I think that makes us, and I've come to the realization is that makes me a better mom.
Yes.
Because my children are seeing me. My children are seeing me, and they're seeing I'm taking care of myself. They're going to mimic me. They're going to have those good things instilled for them too. They're going to say, Mom took care of us, but she took care of herself. She loves us, but she loves her too. Yeah. And that's okay. And those are the things that I am learning and am doing for me now, because I'm able to work with you. And it's huge mindset, mind shift. Like, everything has been like changed and for the better, and it doesn't matter how old you are or what stage or point you're at, can do those things, and you can, change, and you can do for you. Yeah. You really can. And I think that's another thought that I've had is like, I'm too old, or I can't do this, or, and I mean, all these thoughts. And I know it's very, I've talked to other moms and they have all those thoughts, and it's like.
And I would say that even like the year leading up to you finally deciding to do a challenge, I would get DMs from you. I wish I could. I have too much on my plate. I wish I could, but right? And so many of us have those same thoughts too. So I'm also curious, you've said like how this is showing your kids and grandkids another way. What changes have you seen in them as you've prioritized yourself? Have you seen any changes that they've made in their life, or how they treat you differently, or anything like that?
Actually, I started back with the walking challenge. Like I said, I have great support. So all my kids and my husband, everything would go on walks with me.
I love it.
And they would go with me. And they would come with me. And my youngest, especially, he would sit there, and he, to this day, is like, "Are we going for a walk, Mom?"
Yes.
He's 15.
Yeah.
What 15-year-old boy wants to be with her mom? But he does. And it's like, so yeah, I've seen a shift in them too, because now they're like, "Are we going for a walk?" They want to go for a walk. "Mom, did you go for your walk today? Do you want us to come with you?" Like, actually asking to come with me.
That's so amazing.
Okay, well, let's go.
Yeah.
And of course, which is so cute, my granddaughter, she's like, so I'm called Nina, not Nana, Nina. She calls me Nina. And she will say, "Nina, are we going to go for a walk to the park? Are we going to walk?" And so now even her, and I'm thinking I'm like, she sees me as that we're walking, we're doing things, we're doing this. And that's beautiful. That is like, it is. Oh my God. Yeah. I love it, because she wants to be, she doesn't know what she's a part of, so to speak, like that, changing up Nina and all these other things I'm going through, but that's getting her into that we're walking, we're doing things, and my daughter-in-law comes, and she's also been a great support. So she comes too. Yeah. Like, so we're all doing this, and then she'll like and she wants to take better care of herself, and I'm in my head, I'm like, yes, do girl, let's do this, because I want to help her, because I was the young mom, I was the mom, and I still am, but and I know that I don't want her to get wrapped up into the only mom like me. You want to go and do something, go do it. You can do it. Just go. Let's go. So I definitely see a switch in everybody within the house too, because mom is I want to say the leader of the house. That's what we and we set the tone. Yeah. We set the tone a lot of the times. I'm seeing it with my children, adults, but they're here, and you know what? And they're wanting to do these things. So that makes me happy, because they're going to take better care of themselves. I know they are.
That makes me so happy, because I think, like, me also having a little one too, like, Mommy, are you going for a walk? And so their relationship with moving their body and taking care of themselves changes, so that they likely will not have to experience some of the things we've had to when it comes to burnout and not putting ourselves first and like all of that kind of stuff too, right? So that's really cool. One thing that I get asked a lot are, what are the physical changes that you have noticed? And by physical changes, some people's goals is weight loss, and that's fine. But we all know that that's not something that I heavily talk about because I want women to focus on how they feel. So what are some physical changes? It could be energy, it could be sleep, it could be mental clarity, whatever it is. What are physical changes you've experienced as a result of making the changes? Walking, prioritizing yourself, hydration, nutrition, also your internal dialogue, self, like all the things that you're working on that we did very moderately, not extreme. How are you seeing changes in your day-to-day life and how you're feeling?
Happier. I'm happier. And I think that's a big thing. And I say happy because it best describes how I feel and how my brain feels, how my mind feels. It's happier. Because I'm taking the time, because I'm moving, whether it's walking or doing the Stairmaster, or if it's out in the garden or whatever it is, because I am incorporating the movement, I'm happier. I feel that every day I wake up now and it's not a dread. It's a, what am I going to do today? What can I do today?
Love
you
that.
know? And that was a big thing too. Like,
yeah.
It was a dread. It was going through motions. It was just, I was there, you know, and now it's like, what am I going to do today? What can I do? And it's like, okay. And I'm, you know, like we're on summer right now. So like my 15-year-old, let's go. We're getting up and, you know, and I love fishing. So it's like, and we all do as a family. So it's like, we're going out and it's like, you know, crack of dawn, we're out in the water at 5 a.m., stuff like that. So that is my mind. My mind is so much better. It really is. And I know it is. I've lost a few pounds. I haven't been focusing on that. I mean, do I have a goal to lose some weight? Of course I do. You know, of course I do. You know, to say, it would be a lie to say like, I don't want to lose any weight and whatever. But it's kind of now, I do want to, but it's almost on a back burner of, I just want to feel good.
Yes.
I want to be healthy. I want a lot of these symptoms that I have, or these aches, these pains, these whatever it might be, I want that to go away. And that's not going to happen just because I lost weight. That it's going to happen it's a process. It's of me hydrating. It's me taking care of myself with food, and the proper foods, not sitting here and having a bag of chips and thinking that's going to be great, you know, and those are things that I've done, you know. I have to have a better relationship with food, and that's, I'm working on, and I'm getting there to, you know what? So I think too, I've sat there, and I've also, and more of the recent is I'm sleeping a little bit better. That's one big thing. I have a lot of big things really when I think about it. But another thing is sleeping better. The life of me would be up all night and my mind going and racing and everything. And now, for example, last night, I actually went and I was out and I went to bed. I slept through the night. I didn't even wake up. It was so nice. So nice.
It's a game
and so
changer.
I'm having more of those, you know. It's been years, honestly. It's been years. But I think that comes with not just, obviously, there's physical, and because I'm taking care of myself, yeah, sure. But then mentally, there's that being taken care of. Yeah. And that's why I am sleeping better, you know, is I'm having more. So hey, as I go, who knows, I might get to be that person every night I sleep.
Let's hope so. Like, yeah. And I think that that's where people misunderstand this journey is they think, oh, it's just about physical. It's just about physical. It's just about physical. So I can ask you till you're blue in the face, what are the physical changes you've had? But there is so much more to this journey. And so much of it is centered around taking care of yourself and feeling better, body, soul, and spirit. And I think that that's probably one of the surprising things people have as they get into this journey. So was that a surprise for you?
Yes, because I've done the weight loss. I've done and that goes back to, I've done the working out. I've, you know, been a certain size. I've done that to feel better about myself, but I didn't. I didn't feel like I do right now. And so that's, you know, like here I was, you know, I did, you know, an ideal weight before my son got sick. I was where I was. I was eating well. I was doing very, very good things for myself and for my body. But up here wasn't well. Yeah. There was still that aspect, and it was still there. So great. Yeah. And most people would look at me and go, oh, you look so good. Look how good you look. Look how good you're doing. And all this because I had lost weight. But you know what? No one cared and said, how are you? How are you doing? Like, really, how up here, what's up here, what's
Yeah.
going on, what's in here. It was just that they saw this physical aspect of me of, wow, you feel great, don't you? No, I didn't feel great. I feel great now. I feel happy now. And you know what? It has nothing to do with the weight, and people can come at me and be like, oh, well, but no, it's not, because there's so much more to it than just weight. Yeah. And I've learned that, and I'm learning that because like I said, I've been there, I was there, and now where I am happy. And that's why I said it's a simple little word, but I'm happy.
Makes me so
it's
happy.
being happy with me.
Makes me so happy to hear. Literally music to my ears, because I think as like somebody, both women who have been where we've been, and we know what it's like to feel a different way, knowing this, it's not like you'll ever stop. Like this is now your life and you're just going to keep going, and you don't have it all figured out now. I don't have it all figured out now, but it is that commitment to the journey to keep taking one step. So what would you say to somebody who is on the fence of either doing a walking challenge, doing coaching with me? What's one thing you would tell them if they're like, I don't know if I can, or if they're sitting on the fence?
You can do it for you. You can, and do it for you. Go and just take that step. Even if you're nervous, even if you think I can't do it, all those intrusive thoughts, that's just, we've programmed ourselves that way. Like that's what we've done. And it's hard. And I understand how hard it is. I'm still working through it. Just do it. Take that step. Go and work with Sarah because she cares, because she will put her all into it and be there with you. It's like you hold my hand and you're right there, and I know I've got you and you've got me. And it's been I'm so grateful. And I would tell them, it's not like anything else you've experienced. Trust me. And you can do it, and you are going to feel so good, so good. Give her that opportunity to help you, and you will be forever thankful and grateful. Do it.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting you were going to make me cry on this. Thank you.
That's true. That's how I feel. And that's, they will be so thankful and grateful to you as I am. You know what that is? And they will be so thankful and grateful to themselves for doing that.
It's true. It's very true. Well, to wrap this up, is there anything that I missed or that you would want to say to anybody or want to share about you? Or do you think we covered it all?
I think we covered it all. I don't know. I just, like I said, like at the end there, I am thankful for you, and I just want other people to be in where I am now. I've been in that other side, and yeah, sure. Like you said, I'm still working on it. I don't know what is going to happen later, or I'm going with it. I'm going with everything. I'm rolling with it. But I now have that confidence in me. I have that in me that I know I can do this. And I got you to support me, and you're right there. Yeah. And I know that I can go forward. Yeah. And that is huge. It is huge. And personally, I can't wait to see what else I'm going to do.
I can't wait either.
I'm excited. I'm so excited to see what I'm going to be able to do and what I can do.
That's so powerful.
And all those things that I thought I couldn't do, and I thought, oh, it's not for me, or I would plan things and not do it. Yeah. And no, I now can. There's another thing. I wore a bathing suit. I wore a bathing suit in public, and it's the first time since the kids were little, and I wore a bathing suit in public.
That's huge.
That's how long it was. Yeah. Wow. And I can remember one of the last times was we were actually out camping with family. And that was one of the last times I wore a bathing suit in public. Wow. Because of how I felt about me. Yeah. And I did it and how many things I missed out on, and moments I missed out on. And, you've talked so much about this too. And it's true, is those moments that, the kids didn't care. The kids didn't care what mom looked like. Yeah. Mom cared, but and really nobody else cared either. Yeah. They really didn't. If they did, whatever, who cares? Yeah. They don't make me, they're not important. They don't need to be important to me. Like, don't let them. And myself, I wore a bathing suit, and I had fun, and I was with the kids. I was with my granddaughter. We were in the water. We were everything.
So amazing.
And it was in public. That was the big thing. It was in public. And I was like, no, I'm going in. I am going in this stupid water park. I'm going in here. I don't care. I'm going sprinklers. I'm in kids. care.
Yeah.
I am doing it. And yeah, that was big.
Yeah.
And I want other women to be where I am now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm still I'm still working on me, of course. Yeah. You know, I still have thoughts. And that's, I can't stress it enough is to people that think that it's just boom, gone. Yeah. It's just going to go away. No, it's not. I'm not sitting here and saying like, oh my God, I feel so good. It's not, this isn't fake. This is this is real.
And it's showing up even when you have those intrusive thoughts. It's still showing up and deciding, I'm going to choose different. And I think the other thing that is also wild is the fact that you are feeling the way that you're feeling, and it's not even been 4 full months.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because of the support that I have, because you make things that it's relatable to us. Mm-hmm. It's not, again, it's not just you're there for a paycheck and you're there because you took this in school and you did this and we all sit there, and sometimes the mentality is, well, you know what, you should weigh, your BMI is this is where you should be, this is what you should do, now do this, go. Yeah. And again, this isn't being taken care of. Yeah. You take care of this for us too. You have us look into ourselves and look at things, and you want to know those things. Yeah. You don't get that with other people. You don't get that because we're a package deal. Yeah. We're not just what we look like on the outside. There's so many more where we are literally like an onion. We're peels and layers. That's what we are. And working with you, you're taking us as that we are many different layers. And let's just peel back even a little bit. Don't matter. Let's just peel back and let's go. That's a big thing. And I want other women to see this and be like, relatable. I can do this. I can go forward, but I will get there. Yeah. And everybody's going to be different. Everybody's journey is going to be totally different. It's not going to be just like mine, but I know that I want them to know that, you know what? I'm still working. I'm still working. I have really bad days. I have still days that I'm just like, oh, I do talk to myself, and it's true on a daily. And sometimes it's like, you can do this. Yeah. Go for it. Great job. I give myself high fives. Yeah. I'm like, high five. Job. Way to go. And you can get there. And I want other people to get there. And I believe that you are the key of how I got here.
It's just, I keep thinking back to like all the DMs, like for probably over a year when you finally probably got up the courage to send me a DM and you're like, I wish I could, but this, like I know I said it already, but like it just goes to show that when you make a decision and you have support on that decision, the world is your oyster. And it is possible, and you don't have to figure it out alone. You don't have to stay stuck. Yep. And I think that that's where a lot of us can end up being is we're familiar with the environment we're in, even if we don't like it, that we're willing to stay there because it feels harder to take just one step. And I think that that's where also my program is a little bit different, where we focus on just take the next right step. You don't have to have all of it figured out right now. We don't have to do all the things all at once. We're just going to focus on small, consistent steps to get you where you want to be, whatever your goals are. So thank you again so much for sharing so candidly and so openly. And I think this is really going to touch a lot of women who relate to you and me, because so many of us have journeyed through the same things, and just knowing that it is possible to have that switch and that shift is just really powerful. So thank you again so much for being open and honest and willing. I'm so grateful for you, and I'm so proud of you as well. As your coach, I'm gonna cry.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
My pleasure.
I would do so much for you because of everything that you've done for me. And I thank you.
My absolute pleasure. Well, thank you. We will see you again soon. I am going to just hit the stop recording button.